Hi Capricorn, here is your love reading for the month of July 2017. I've already pre-shuffled and laid out your cards. Now, the central issue that we have is the Five of Wands in the reverse. And I just did a reading for Sagittarius, and they actually had the same card, but in a different position. Like I said to Sagittarius, the Five of Wands is a card about conflict. It can very much talk about, in the upright, it can very much talk about nobody listening to each other. People thinking that they're right and everybody else is wrong. Not being on the same page. In the reverse, first of all, it can talk about trying to avoid that type of conflict. Maybe trying to remove yourself from a situation that may be creating that type of conflict. It can also be about how, if there's been external conflict, it can then create this internal conflict within you. And you may not yet have completely worked things out within your own mind. The other aspect with the Five of Wands that I didn't mention in the Sagittarius reading, but I'm going to mention it in this reading because of the other cards I have here. It can certainly talk about how somebody may have deceived you. Somebody has maybe not been entirely honest, okay? Now, see, and the other thing I want to mention with this Five of Wands, because I said it can talk about this element of trying to avoid conflict. Are some of you trying to avoid conflict with your partner by compromising? But are you on some level compromising too much? Are you doing everything that your partner wants and going along with every decision they make, even if inside it's not what you really want? But because you're trying to avoid this conflict with them, you end up going along. If that's the case, I'm not saying to assert yourself to the point of causing conflict, but you may need to work out whether you are the one that's having to compromise more than your partner. Now, in the recent past, we do have the Ace of Wands. And again, Sagittarius had this card in exactly the same position. The Ace is a new beginning. And the Wands is fiery, passionate, creative energy. And like I said to Sagittarius, it could be that you have maybe recently met somebody that has stirred this passionate energy within you, where between you both there may be a lot of passion. In an existing relationship, again, it can talk about this passionate energy between you both, that maybe it had been lacking, and maybe those passionate feelings have to some degree started to resurface. In your present, we do have the Emperor. It is major arcana and it's in the reverse position. Now, maybe some of you are dealing with an Aries, because the Emperor is the card for Aries. But it doesn't have to be talking about the sign of the person. When the Emperor is in that position, first of all, it can talk about somebody being very rigid within their thinking. Somebody may be behaving in a way of this, it's my way or the highway. We're going to do everything the way I want it to be done. Like I said with this Five of Wands, I feel for you that this card is talking more about somebody having to compromise and the other person not being prepared to bend here. That Emperor as well in the reverse, it talks about somebody that is very domineering and somebody that likes to be in control and doesn't like to lose control. They don't like that to be threatened. The Emperor in that position can very much talk about somebody who is very forceful. Like I said, there's a need for control here. And it can very much speak about an unequal relationship here. As I said, no give and take from one person, but the other person having to compromise their needs and their wants. Now, in your advice position, we do have the High Priestess. It is number 2 in the major arcana. Yes, the High Priestess can talk about secrets. It's the need for you to listen to your intuition here. Because within this relationship, something's not balanced. And I think intuitively you can feel that something's not right here. And there may be a very strong, passionate connection between you both. But there's still this little thing that's not right. Like us keep coming back to somebody having to compromise. That High Priestess she is seeking guidance and knowledge in regards to a decision that has to be made here. And that decision, as I said, has got to come from within you. This is not a time to use logic. This is a time to listen to that inner voice. Now, your next advice card, we've got the King of Cups in the reverse position. Now, yes, it could be a water sign that some of you are involved with. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Again, if not, it can be talking about your energy. This King of Cups in this position, it can talk about a codependent type relationship. And is it the case that, are you feeling emotionally very dependent on your partner? That on some level you may fear asserting yourself, like I said with this Five of Wands, because you may be worried that if you do assert yourself, it could end up maybe causing a break within this relationship. That King of Cups in that position is talking about somebody that may be feeling insecure and feeling emotionally vulnerable at the moment. Now, here the next card we've got is the Two of Pentacles in your environment position. The two, as we know, is about a decision. We know a decision's got to be made here because we've got this High Priestess advising you to use your inner voice, your intuition here. The two is about juggling. It's about wrestling with a decision. Which way to go? See, we've got water in this card. And the water does look very choppy. You know, and like I said, this decision is very much affecting you within your emotional state. The next card we've got is the Four of Pentacles in its reverse. There can be a touch of selfish energy with that Four of Pentacles. There can be a touch of somebody being reluctant to let go of something. See, with that Four of Pentacles in the reverse, it can very much talk about a fear of change. And if you are the one that is feeling very dependent on your partner, it may bring about this energy here, this element of fear. Because if you assert yourself and speak up here, it may very well change the whole dynamics of this relationship. And you may be feeling very unsure about which way this is going to go. Your outcome card is the Lover's card. It is Major Arcana, and it's about a choice, a head over heart or heart over head decision, choice to be made here. See, I think there's strong, passionate energy between you both. But the thing that troubles me is, like I said, somebody is being very domineering and very controlling. And the other person is wanting to speak up, is wanting to assert themselves, but knows that if they do that, it may very well create this conflict. There's somebody here that is feeling insecure and very vulnerable at the moment. But like I said, there's a decision to be made here. We've got 3 cards here about that. The Lovers is a choice and a decision. We've got the wrestling with a decision with the 2 of Pentacles. And we've got another decision here with this High Priestess. To go along with these readings this month, I'm using the Romance Oracle card. And you've got deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. The fact the High Priestess is here, I think you intuitively know that something is not right here. There's a decision that's got to be made. Now, all of these readings can always go vice versa. It could be you that's got to make this decision. It could be your partner. Somebody's fearing letting go. Somebody's fearing change here. Somebody is trying to avoid conflict. So they may very well be compromising their own happiness and their own emotional fulfillment. To me, I feel that deception is very much talking about either one of you not being happy within this relationship due to the other person being controlling, being domineering. I don't think the deception card is talking about somebody doing something to actually deceive you. I think, like it said, it's talking about somebody wearing a false mask here. Now, we haven't got the Magician in the reverse on the table. But I think it's more talking about somebody going along with another person. Maybe on some level, showing everybody, partner included, that they're very happy and contented within this relationship, when internally they're not feeling that way. If this reading applies to you and you are dealing with somebody, like I said, with that Emperor energy, then that's not an equal relationship. There's got to be give and take here. Both people need to take into consideration the other person's feelings and needs and wants. It cannot be all one-sided. But a decision has got to be made, and it's either, as I said, it can go either way, you or your partner. Okay, Capricorn, that does conclude this reading. I do hope it resonates with somebody. Thank you so much for liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. It means a lot. Thank you. Bye.